right here. That's the area of spin. Let's put on shear rate if we can, kind of get a better look at it. Okay, see the wrap. Max rotation, down Highway 5, crossing Highway 5. It's headed to Duke. Duke, you missed out on the last tornado, and we hope you miss out on this one. We'll see if it produces, but the circulation is going to go on top of Duke.
David, look at the new circulation just north of Allen. That's not where the hook is with the Mangum storm. It's actually just north of Allen. That's the area you were talking about a little bit earlier. It's gotten stronger.
Yeah, and look at Allen's shot control room. It's right there in the middle screen. That's Alan Brosey's shot. And look at that. Okay, let's go back to Allen and get an update on the rotation. Allen, your storm is tightening up. There you go. Zoom in. Oh, wow. Look at the movement, Alan Brosey. Look at the movement. Look at the turning. And look at the turning and the lifting. Pressures are lowering. Low pressure is getting lower and lower, working its way down from the base. And Alan, what do you think? Visually looking at it right there. Give us an update.
Yeah, it's tightening up again. It's recycled. It's tightening. We've seen some small funnels come out of it. Nothing coming halfway down to the ground yet, but it is definitely rotating. And the motion, the upward motion, and the rotation is strong enough that I can foresee another tornado coming out of this, as opposed to anything else. Back to you, David.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. And that's that second area. The original hook is still going on. See this, folks? See how this is wrapping to the right? See how this is turning and lifting and then wrapping to the right? Watch this right here. See this in the background? See how that is disappearing? See how that's disappearing as this is coming in the foreground from left to right? Look at it. It's happening right before your eyes. That is getting tighter and tighter. That's happening. It's going to happen. It's going to try to do it.
David, the tornado warning now includes Lone Wolf and Hobart. It extends all the way up to the north and east now, just south of Rocky.
Yeah, and here's the deal, folks. There are two areas of circulation right now. We have two areas of spin. Look at the left side of the wall cloud, nearly razor sharp. And see how that right there is lifting up? See how that little ripple right there? That tells me there's a high velocity speed going on with this updraft. And right here too. See how smooth that is, and it's rippling? Anytime you see that, we're going to have problems. All right, this whole thing is turning. It's lifting up like this. At the same time, it's turning. All right, lifting up and turning. Never good. Never good. Okay, let's go back to Storm Shield control room. Big supercell, big hook, big hail. All right, tennis ball to grapefruit size hail now into granite. Lone Wolf, maybe as far east as Hobart eventually. I think Hobart, yeah, you're going to get it. Tornado warning continues. If you were in the tornado area, if you were in Granite or Lone Wolf, you need to go to your safe spot. I'll say it again, lowest level, center part of the house. If you are a child at home and you're watching us right now, you have to go to your safe spot, okay? Take your phone, turn the TV up, go to that center part of the house, go to that storm shelter, go to the lowest level, go to that bathroom, center part of the house, go to that closet. Smaller the closet, the better. Center part of the house. Every house has one. Find it, get in there, okay? Get in there. And it's all because of this. Let's go back to Alan Brosey's shot. Circulation now, getting stronger, getting lower. There you go, Alan. What do you think? How strong is that rotation? Alan Brosey? Hey, guys.
Okay, David, I'm with you. We've got a centralized cone of rotation in the middle of this wall cloud right now. It's really low to the ground. David, it's probably less than 700 or 800 feet to the ground right now. Rotating harder. It looks tornado imminent right now, and I guarantee you this thing is going to be with us for a while. This is a very, very powerful storm. We've seen two satellite vortices and smaller vortices coming out of this at different times away from the wall cloud. So it's when this thing is cranking up, David, back to you.
Yeah, it sure is. And again, Lacey just brought up a good point. Again, if you live in a mobile home, we say this all the time, but if you live in a mobile home, damaging winds will topple over a mobile home, okay? They'll topple it over. You can get winds wrapping around this area of circulation that are 80 miles per hour, 90 miles an hour, not with the tornado, but wrapping around the tornado. That'll flip over a mobile home. If you live in a mobile home and this is headed towards you, you need to get out. You need to get out. You need to go to a neighbor's house that has a storm shelter, or you got to get out. You cannot stay in a mobile home. A house that is built with the roof and walls and all that, you can stay there. And again, get in the center part of the house, and you're going to be fine. But mobile homes, they're great to live in when the weather's nice, but when the weather goes wrong, you have to have that backup plan. Look at the right side of the wall clock right here. Look at the left side. This thing is still spinning. Okay, and Alan Brosey's right there.
Loud and clear.
Justin, Alan needs to keep moving. He needs to keep moving here. I don't want him getting behind on this thing. Okay. And again, here's area of spin now. It's headed towards Lake Altus, Lone Wolf, and Hobart. Okay, Valcaster is now coming in from the east. Okay, I see Val shot. Val's coming in from the east. And Val's in a good spot here. We'll check in with Val coming up. Okay, so area of circulation. Look at here, folks. Just right before your eyes. Look at the update here.
On the engine one, I put us in service on PD side. We're going to try to figure out the radio.
he's in kind of in a rural area. Cell coverage down here is not that good. And there's the picture of the wall cloud, though. All right. And see this cloud right here? See this cloud right? Okay, this is live. Let's leave his picture up. See this right here? Wow, look at that. Okay, look at this right here. This is pretty amazing. See the movement of this? See how fast that is? This is not sped up. That's real time. See that? Okay, I think this is going to produce another tornado here in the next few minutes. Okay, that's the right side of the bell. Here's the left side of the bell. Let's see what it's doing here. A lot of motion going on. Yeah, this isn't good. This isn't good. This is coming around the front. This is coming around the front. Here's the left side coming around. And let's tell Val to back out just a bit on this shot. Back out of this shot just a bit. Justin, tell Val to back out of this shot. Don't be quite so tight. It's going to produce another tornado. Boy, yeah, it's really ramping up. What are your velocities there, Lacey? 60. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
And that 65-mile-an-hour winds at least going right over the lake.
Yeah, we have damaging winds crossing Lake Altus right now, and this thing is really, really tightening up. Okay, we lost the shot just for a second. Here it is. This area of spin. All right. It's really, really ramping up. Really, what radar are you on right now? What are you looking at?
Frederick right now.
Okay. Okay. So here's the area of spin. Make sure.
Lifting up towards Lone Wolf for sure.
Yeah, Lone Wolf. You got to go to your safe spot. Go to your safe spot, Lone Wolf. All right. You need to go there now. This tornado is going to be to your southwest. Possible tornado right now developing over Lake Altus. Damaging winds. That's the minimum you're going to get out of this. Damaging winds and large hail in Altus. Lake Altus, excuse me. Lake Altus. Rosie's now coming up on the east side. And, okay, here's Val to the east. All right, so Lone Wolf, Hobart, you need to wake up. Wake up, Hobart. It's to your southwest, and look at the hook. Look at the hook wrapping around. Pretty intense hook right there. Okay? Pretty intense hook now. Wow, it's really ramping up. Do we have Alan Brosey? Okay, let's go to Alan Brosey. Alan, you're on. Give us an update.
Okay, David, we're at 14, road 1460, northbound to Lone Wolf right now. We have a funnel that was just over the middle of the road. The rotation itself is probably less than a mile and a half to 2 miles to our north, and we are definitely into the wall. We have rotation all the way around us now, David. We're going to head east. We got to get east. We got 60 miles.
Okay, he was saying he's going to have 60-mile-an-hour winds. Justin, make sure is he going east? Okay, east. Get him east. Okay, look at the winds here. They're getting stronger. Let's go back to Storm Shield. This is the area of spin, 77.2 miles per hour. Okay, and that is towards the radar, and this is away. This is the area of spin right here. I'm going to put my finger. That's where the tornado is going to be. Alan, I'm looking at a shot. It's not there. There it is. Okay, there it is. There. The warning continues. This is going to be for Kiowa County, southwestern Kiowa County, from Lake Altus up to Lone Wolf to Hobart. You're under the gun. You're under the gun. You need to go to your safe spot right now. And I'll say this again. If you're a child at home, you're listening to me, your parents are not there, and you live in or near Lake Altus, if you live near Hobart or Lone Wolf, and you're by yourself, and really this goes for adults too, you've got to go to the safe spot. You need to go to your safe spot right now. Lowest level, get out of the mobile home. Get out of the mobile home. You cannot stay there. You cannot stay there. You need to find a neighbor who has a house that has a structure that you can get inside. Lowest level, center part of the house. The hail is tremendous up here. This is going to be, it's been confirmed, tennis ball to baseball size hail just north of Lone Wolf. This is a damaging hail storm coming into Sentinel. Sentinel, damaging hail for you. Rocky, damaging hail for you eventually, as this is going to move northeast. So there's the hook, and there it is, okay? So here's Alan's location, right? And let's go back to Alan's shot. Let's take his shot. It's right there. Alan, give us an update. A little bit grainy on your picture. I know you're in a bad state. There it is. Boy, Alan, it looks like it's really spinning. Give us an update.
Yeah, David, it's spinning and blowing hard. We've got 50 to 60 mile per hour winds feeding into this tornado for this tornadic storm right now. A lot of rising motion and a lot of heavy spin right there in the center of our shot. That just above the pole there, you can see that's the wall cloud, and it is just turning and burning. We're going to go east and try to get north and stay in the game here, David. Thank you.
Okay, all right, Alan, stay with this. And again, it's not on the ground. If it were, you'd be seeing it live at home. Okay, it's not on the ground, but it's spinning, and it's a very, very large storm, no doubt about it. It's producing tennis ball size hail to baseball size hail. Let's watch this for a second here. This is kind of pinwheeling out like that. Whenever I see that, I kind of start to panic a little bit here. Okay, it's not doing it. Okay, I want to make sure. Okay, let's go back to radar here. Let's go back to storm shield and severe storm now. Northwest of Marty Logan. I'm looking at Marty's shot. This storm is severe up here, and this is going to go wet. Fort Supply. That's going to go right over Fort Supply. Okay, so Fort Supply, if you live south of there, get ready. Let's zoom on into this on storm shield. I know you're switching here. Fargo, hail core, north of you, just went through Gage. If you live in Fort Supply, need to watch this. Marty Logan's right there, and we'll see what it does, okay? But this is another rotating thunderstorm. And let's go to Marty Logan in northwestern Oklahoma. Let's go to Marty. You see in the Gettner? Okay, Marty Logan, your storm continues to spin faster. Give us an update. Marty Logan, tell us what's going on with your storm.
Yeah, this thing has just started getting a little bit of a lowering up at Gage, maybe just north of Gage. We're headed north right now. We're going to go up to Fargo. Got a back road I can take up towards Fort Supply and get right up there on a little bit closer. As you can see, we've got a pretty good base on this. Still high base that we can see, but tucked in there, we've got a little bit of a lowering. So we're going to go up and take another look at it.
Okay, all right, Marty Logan, stay where you are, but I mean, obviously keep moving north, stay east of it. And this thing, Marty, your storm is moving north-northeast, so you're going to go back into Fargo, and then you can work your way back east, so you're in a good spot. It's headed to Fort Supply, and this storm is rotating. There's a rain-free base, a little bit of a rain-free base right here. We have several plates beginning to develop. This is also in an environment that is very conducive for tornadoes today, all right? That storm could end up producing a tornado. It's not right now. It's just severe winds, 60, 70 miles an hour, quarter golf ball size hail. Let's jump back south, and let's go back to Storm Shield Control Room. There we go. Thank you. There's Fargo. And area of spin is now over Gage. Rotation is about over Gage. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump down the line here. Smaller storm near Harmon, not doing too much. We're looking at it. Headed up towards Harmon. It is severe. Winds in there, 40 to 50, maybe 60. Darren Stevens coming into this cluster here. We'll see what this does if it gets its act together. Right now, though, we have kind of a cluster of storms in here. They're severe, 70 mile an hour, quarter size hail. Bobby Payne's right here. And let's jump back south. Let's get back into southwestern Oklahoma. And Lacey, what were you talking about? We had some reports of some wind damage.
Yeah, up near the Gage area, it looks like power poles have been knocked down as that storm moved through the area, the one that Marty Logan is on. So producing winds at least to 60 miles per hour, if not to 70 miles per hour. That's the one Marty's on. He's going to continue to monitor. As David said, it is rotating, and we're also tracking the storms a little further to the south. Elk City, I know you just had the tornado a couple days ago. Now you're getting a severe storm over your head. David, I wanted you to take a look at this one, show you velocity in that area, because it is starting to rotate just a little bit. It's nothing too extreme. Let me switch radars on you here.
Yeah, let's take a look at it
and take a look at it.
Yeah.
There we go. So, well, now it's cutting out, but there is a little bit of rotation near Sayre.
Yeah, right here.
Each one of these, honestly, are rotating slightly at least.
I mean, the atmosphere, what she's saying is they all have some rotation, obviously some more than others, okay? So we have to watch all of these storms, because this whole thing's going to work itself out for the afternoon. We're going to get storms kind of going away. Some will morph into one. And at the end of the day, you kind of see what's in front of you, right? So this whole thing's still working itself out, but this Sayre storm is beginning to spin. It is beginning to spin there. And who do we have coming in on that? Here's Bobby. Here's Darren. And, yeah, these guys will be here shortly, so we'll get Bobby Payne on that. Okay, let's go back to southwestern Oklahoma here. Big severe storm now west of Duke, where Hank is. Hank's looking at a lowering. And Valcaster shot continues to be very impressive with the hook. Look at the hook on this, folks. This thing has produced a tornado. I'll show you some of the video coming up. Here's the hook, Lake Altus, and look at the, oh, wow. Wow. Okay. Wow, it's really ramped up. Okay, so it's the circulate, damaging winds now in Lone Wolf. You're getting damaging winds now in Lone Wolf with tennis ball size hail. Tennis ball size hail and damaging winds in Lone Wolf. We're blowing out north windows. It's a north wind ripping to the south, okay? Here's the circulation right here. Southeast of Lone Wolf, about 1 mile. That's where the circulation is. Let's get about Valcaster, take his shot. And Val, there you go. Strongest rotation has been since it produced the tornado about 2 o'clock today. All right, give us an update. What do you think?
Val?
Okay, David. Right now, you see our position. We're about 4 to 5 miles east-southeast of Lone Wolf. And what's happening with the storm, David, the wall cloud and the rotation is 4 and it's going to be pretty much straight to our west, maybe a little west-northwest, and it's going to be just maybe a little bit east right now of Lone Wolf or a little southeast of Lone Wolf, but we have tremendous rising motion right in there, which, you know, that's one thing we look for. Really strong rising motion, and there's definitely rotation there. It's not rotating, you know, like max 100% yet, but there's strong upward motion right in that area, and that's going to be, we're estimating, maybe 3 miles east-southeast of Lone Wolf, David.
No.
Okay, all right, Val, good job. Stay with it. There's the left side of the wall cloud beginning to wrap around the front. All right, there's the background. This is all lifting and turning. Strong circulation back into the storm now. It's never really gone away. It's now ramping back up. All right, this is going to try to produce a tornado. It's going to try to tornado. Let's go to Jim Gardner shot. Do we have that? I see Jim shot. Okay,
Yeah.
Let's go to Jim Gardner. Wow, look at that. Look at that, Jim.
Hey, David,
give us an
we
update.
just got up here. We're actually just east of Hobart, about 5 miles here, Hobart Airport. You're looking at that wall cloud starting to tighten up right now. On the other side, just about 6 miles north of Altus Air Force Base, we got a tornado. We got an elephant trunk come out of that storm. We couldn't see if it went to the ground or not. It was behind a hill there, David, but this is the same storm that tracked up from that made that little tornado here. But this one is really starting to ramp up here, David, as you look at this picture from Bob Mills, Sky News 9. But a tremendous amount of lightning out here, and I guarantee in front of this, it is dropping some big hailstones, David. Jim Garner live from Bob Mills, Sky News 9. Back to you.
Jim, that is an incredible shot. Leaving Lake Altus in the background, moving east. Look how this front lip is wrapping around the front. And this whole thing is rotating and rotating. Folks, you can see it. You can see it right here. You can see the spin, the gradual spin in that. Okay, let's go back to the ground. Let's go to Alan Brosey's shot. And Val's right here. Alan's right here. Let's get an update from Alan. Control room, if we could lose Jim Gardner in my ear, that would be amazing. And, okay, let's go to Val Casper's shot. Alan is frozen. Let's go to Val Casper's shot. And Val, you're back on, Val. Give us an update on what this thing's doing. We just lost his shot.
All right, David, no, you didn't. It's coming back. We're going to switch from roof cam.
Okay, go ahead.
The shot is there, David. The shot is there. It's we've got rotation rapidly forming to our west-southwest here. What you see in there is scud that's been rapidly forming underneath and rising right up. And this is going to be, just like I said earlier, this is probably about 3 miles or so east-southeast of Lone Wolf. And also, there's another area of rotation just to the north of that. But it looks like we're trying to get, I don't know, that almost at times, that looks like a funnel. We're washing the windshield right now because we just got into some mud on the windshield. But just bear with us here because we got a good shot of it here. But the wall cloud, David, is it's solidifying right now. And there's rotation increasing right there. Every now and then we have scud tags form underneath it, rapidly rising up.
Yeah, no, Val, you're right there. It's going to go right over you, so be careful. All right, let's see what it does. And look at this thing. Look at this thing turning from left to right. That's going to try to go to the ground. Let's go to Jim Gardner. Let's check in with Jim. He is right there. He is just above Val. Val can look out his back window, see Jim right above him. Jim Gardner, what do you think? Still getting stronger. Give us an update. Bag for shot.
Well, that's right, David. Moments ago, we had a high base funnel there. We had a high base funnel that was off to the left side of the main, where the dome is right there, and it moved in. For a minute there, we thought we may have had something going to the ground, but it kind of just went back up. But it is definitely getting its act together, David, here. As you look at this shot here from Bob Mills, Sky News 9. So we'll just keep tracking it. We'll let you know at any moment now, because you can see the rotation is, David, this whole thing is turning. So it's just a matter of time, I believe. Jim Garner live from Bob Mills, Sky News 9. Back to you.
Okay, yeah, no, and Jim, unfortunately, you're probably going to be right. And Willow's in the background right here. He turned on Street Scope, and obviously a product only on News 9. We can lay down every street, every community. We can zoom in on your house, and I know your phone number. Okay, this thing's amazing. All right, I can tell you who's home or not. And he's putting all the streets in here. These are all these farm roads in southwestern Oklahoma. Area of circulation. There it is. It's big time. It's right here. It's right here. Okay, let's go back to velocity data. I tell you what. Let's go to Storm Shield. Let's go to Storm Shield. And here's the hook. Right here. Hook's getting a little messy. Hook's getting a little messy right now. I'm trying to get some rain back in. And there's the area of spin. Right there. We're still out of Frederick, so this is going to be 2 areas. Yeah, right here. There it is.
There's Lone Wolf.
Okay, control room, if you could take Jim out of my ear, that would be awesome. Okay, so Lone Wolf's right there. And this is just to the east of Lone Wolf. Okay, and coming in on Hobart. Okay, let's go back to southwestern Oklahoma, this next storm down the line. And look at the hook here. Look how really wrapped up. Okay, now this storm down here is not looking as impressive as it was earlier, which is great news. The hook has become more east-west. Still need to watch it. Not saying it's not going to do anything, but it's showing some signs that it's severe, not tornadic. Coming into Mangum, you folks in Mangum, you're going to get another severe storm. The hail in Mangum will not be as big as what you had with this first storm, but it's still pretty big. And then back down towards south of Hollis, another storm there, almost severe. Okay, let's come back to Oklahoma. Let's come back to the metro. At least show parts of Oklahoma City here. And notice that we have nothing going on in the metro. We are completely clear with nothing happening here in Oklahoma City. These are still hours away to the west of us. Okay, still hours away to the west of us. And again, this activity moving northeast at 40 miles per hour. Many supercells out here. Many rotating thunderstorms. All right, but the biggest storm by far is right here. It's coming out of Hobart, and we said Ouachita County, you're in the line of fire. You are. And I want to point out down here, Vaughn's on this storm, and get Vaughn's picture up. This is another tornadic supercell, and this is going to come into Oklahoma. Look at the hook on that. All right, that's going to either eastern Jackson County or Tillman County. You folks in Frederick, Vaughn's there, you need to be watching this, okay? You need to be watching this storm as it comes into southwestern Oklahoma. You need to be watching it. Okay, let's come back north here just a bit. And I see Jim Shot. I don't see anything crazy in Jim Shot right now. This thing is, it's still very strong, still a large storm moving northeast, okay, 40 miles per hour. Clinton, you're going to get some hail. Weatherford, you're going to get some large hail. And wow, look at the size of this storm. Other severe storms, I want to point out, coming into Morewood, Elk City, okay, and all of these moving off to the northeast. There we go. My IP went away. Now it came back. Okay. All right. Thank you. So there it is. Now coming into Leedy. I'm going to adjust something here on my leg. Do not panic at home. Okay. Okay. Marty Logan Shot. Wow, that's impressive up here. Fort Supply, you need to be thinking about a damaging hailstorm. You need to be thinking about damaging winds and the possibility that this could produce a tornado. Let's go back to Marty here real quick and get an update from Marty Logan. It's headed to Fort Supply. And Marty Logan, we're going to take your shot. Control room, Marty Logan. Marty, give us a quick update on your storm. Go ahead.
Yeah, we've got a working cloud here just north of Fargo, rolling, tumbling. No wall cloud that we can really define yet, but we're going to have to keep an eye on this thing. It's headed to my house, to our friends at Fort Supply, maybe skirt the north side of Woodward, so we are getting out ahead of it a little further. We're trying to take another look at it. That's back to you.
Okay, all right, there you go, Marty. Stay with it. Okay, let's go back to Storm Shield here. And there it is. There's Marty's storm headed to Fort Supply. This storm's going to miss Woodward, okay? This one is. You got a little storm here going up over Woodward, but right now nothing out of control with that. All right, Marty's on that. We have all these storms covered. Let's come back into western Oklahoma. Another severe storm southwest of Harmon. That's producing some rotation. Going to have some wind and hail with that coming into Harmon here shortly. Big storm over Camargo and Leedy. Darren's right there. Do we have Darren shot up anywhere?
Yes, right here.
What are you seeing Darren shot right now?
Yeah, right now Darren Shot,
Okay.
he's driving through the rain.
Yeah.
He's driving through the core, actually. That storm
Okay.
just north of Moore on
Okay.
Highway 34.
Okay, and then Bobby's going to come in. Okay, so Darren, Justin, just to be clear, Darren's going to the west of Leedy storm. Okay, and then Bobby Payne's going to be on the Morewood storm. Okay, all right, and tell Bobby he probably needs to think about going north here sooner than later. Okay, all right, well, there's Darren Shot. He's on his way into the storm, all right? Let's get a quick update from him. Darren, go ahead, give us an update.
Yes, David, I'm 6 miles south of Leedy on 34. Right now, everything is included by rain right now. But there's one thing I can tell you, I'm starting to get pelted by some little bitty hail, maybe the small marble size. But I think there's a hail core coming up on me, so I'm going to try to peek in there and see what kind of hail size that we're dealing with. Back to you, David.
All right, great job there, Darren. And again, that is a storm that's getting stronger by the minute, okay? That storm continues to really ramp up out there. So once again, we have multiple storms going on, many storms. And the bottom line is They are all beginning to rotate. We've had that one confirmed tornado. We were tracking it live on the air with that big supercell that was in southwest Oklahoma that is still there. All right, so Darren's in a good spot. He'll be all over this thing. I'll tell you what, let's go back to Storm Shield control room and look at the large supercell in southwestern Oklahoma. Val's down there. Here it is. It's now north of Hobart. This is the biggest storm in the state, at least for now. At least for now. It's northwest of Hobart. The hook is. All right, it's going to Cordell, and it's going to Clinton, and it's going to Weatherford. You folks in Clinton and Weatherford, we've been saying it for the last hour and a half to 2 hours that it's coming your way. Strong area of circulation now. And Val is working his way back to the north. It's kind of pulled away from him a little bit here. Okay, so Val needs to get back north. Let's get an update from Val Castor. By the way, Marty Logan shot. Keep an eye on Marty's shot. This thing is really ramping up. Let's go to Val. Val, that storm moving to the north. Give us an update on what you see. I mean, that circulation there is still pretty intense.
Okay, David, you're right. Go ahead and switch to the roof cam real quick. You've got us on here. David, the storm and the circulation now is going to be north of Hobart. And this thing, the old circulation kind of went away, and the new one formed a little bit further up to the northeast, and that's it right there. It's not nearly as organized looking, at least from the base, as it was a little bit earlier, we know, when it had a lot of rotation with it, but it's cycling. I mean, that's pretty much what it's doing right now, cycling. So we expect it to intensify again and rotate hard again. And as you well know, conditions are definitely favorable for tornadoes. Back to you, David.
Yeah, and we've already had that one tornado, at least a couple out of this. We were bringing to you live at 2 o'clock today, straight up. Let's go back to Pathfinder and then control room. Get that video ready. I'm going to show you what it looked like at 2 o'clock today. This is the one big mother storm right here that's lifting to the northeast. Cordell, it's coming right through your front door. All right? Cordell. All right, 334. That's when the damaging part, or at least the tornadic part, if it produces a tornado, would be arriving. But it's coming into Cordell right now. Cordell is right now. All right? And it's producing tennis balls to possibly baseball-sized hail. You're going to have other hail sizes mixed in, okay? You're going to have nickels and dimes and quarters and golf balls. But you're also going to have tennis ball and baseball-sized hail, all right, in Cordell. And from there, it's going to ride up to Clinton. It's going to go to Weatherford, all right? So large supercell, rotating supercell, big storm. Big storm. I see where Val is. He's coming in from the south. So that's your storm track. Cordell, 334. Corn, 349. The Waters Zoo Park, south sides of I-40, 350 in Clinton. Clinton downtown, 352. Lucky Star Casino in Clinton at 353. Crowder Lake State Park at 354. Weatherford, 404. And Southwest OSU and Whitmanford at 405. Weatherford High School at 406. Weatherford, 4 o'clock. You got the drill here. You know what you're doing. Custer City at about 407. Big storm here. Big storm now that's beginning to get its act together over Elk City. Need to keep an eye on that. Getting its act together, getting stronger. Another storm getting stronger now north of Butler. Another storm west of Leedy. And what does Darren Stevens' shot look like? Okay, nothing yet. I don't want his shot yet. I just wanted to see his shot. Okay, so here in Oklahoma City, I want to point out this storm is headed to Watonga. All right, it's headed to Watonga, and it's going to try to head towards Watonga into Blaine County. All right, and northwestern Caddo County. You folks are going to be under the gun as this moves in. And the least you'll get is going to be large hail damaging winds. And I'm not talking about quarters. I'm talking tennis baseball size hail. These are rotating, large, very large storms pushing north. Circulation now over Rocky. Oh, they're going to drop the tornado warning, okay? Well, I tell you what, I don't know if I would do that or not. I'm going to say I wouldn't do that. If I live in Cordell, I'm thinking about going to my safe spot. I'm thinking about going to my tornado spot, okay? Because this storm is very large and it could produce another tornado at any time. Okay, Jim Gardner's just east of this. Let's go back up to Jim. Let me show you how mean and ugly this storm is. Let's take Jim's shot. Let's go back to Jim Gardner. And Jim, you're on the front lip of that. And the circulation there, it has weakened some in the last 10 to 15 minutes, but
Lost Marty again.
It is still a bad storm to deal with. Jim Gardner, if you can hear me, give us an update.
Well, David, let me roll. I'm losing Marty here and there, but you're looking at a storm. We're shooting back to the west here. We were just now 16 miles directly south of Cordell Airport, shooting back to the west. And it's a very mean-looking storm, David. I can tell you right now, we haven't seen too much of a wall cloud or rotation, but I'm still pretty high here. We're going to start descending a little bit as we get closer in to where we can get a better signal. But again, right now, you're looking at kind of more like a squall line right there. But as we pan back to the left, you can see the lowering right in there, David. Right now, no indication of any funnels or anything, but it is definitely ramping up. Jim Carr reporting live from Bob Mills, Scotty 9, back to you.
Okay, all right, great job there, Jim. Wow, look at the knuckles on the front of the lip of this storm, folks. This is miles long. This is a huge supercell. Runs from, again, we're talking about down in here in Kiowa County, but this is miles in length, all right, from left to right. And look at there. There's a windmill farm, one of them. We have many, many windmill farms. There's one of them there, but this is the mesocyclone right here. This is it. You're looking at the front lip of it from Jim Schott. He's about 4,000 feet up, give or take. He's up there pretty high. And wow, look at that shot there. Okay, let's go back to Storm Shield 9, Fort Supply, and look at the hook on this. That's coming into Oklahoma. This is another big concern of mine. This is going to be a huge storm with a huge hook coming southwest, moving northeast from the southwest. Frederick, we said it earlier. You folks in Frederick, maybe Granville, Boncaster, getting closer. Do we have Vaughn shot up? Okay, I see it. Okay, it's frozen right now, but Vaughn is moving, I assume, right? Okay, so again, this is going to be a tornadic supercell. This is going to come into southern and really southeastern Tillman County and southeastern Jackson County. Frederick over to Granville, please be paying attention to this, okay, as it comes in from the southwest. It's moving at about 40 miles per hour. And do we know if this has produced tornadoes in Texas? Do we know? No confirmation, but well, look at the hook. Wow. Okay, let's come back north to our big storm in Kiowa County here, and moving into Ouachita County. Damaging hailstorm coming into Cordell. Rotation is right here where Allen is, and where Val currently are located. Rocky, Sentinel, you're getting damaging hail right now coming into Cordell. Dill City, headed to Bessie. All right, headed to Bessie, headed to Corn. It's going to be a damaging hail event for you. If you don't get a tornado, if it does weaken where we're not producing a tornado, you're at least going to get damaging winds, 80 plus miles per hour in large hail. And I'm talking the kind of hail that will blow out windows, all right? It simply will blow out a west or a northwest or a southwest window as this comes in. Look at the hail swamp now, running from Sentinel and Rocky back down to Lone Wolf and Granite. Big hail core in there. Okay, control room, let's take a look at the video from earlier today. We had this live, had the whole tornado live from beginning to end. That was down near Duke at 2:04. Tornado on the ground for several minutes. It was wide, it was narrow. It looked like an elephant trunk. It widened out just a bit, and that was on the ground for several minutes down there. And we did have at least one report of some minor damage northwest of Duke. All right, so either possibly hitting a farmhouse or a couple of barns or something like that. But no reports of any injuries right now, or no reports of any fatalities. But that's when the tornado was really very wide. And inside here, the tornado was still on the ground, even though it was fairly weak at that point. And then it began to cone out again, coning out there again, going to the ground. It's on the ground already, but now the condensate is down to the ground. And there's that tornado at 2:15 today. 2:15, we had that live on the air right here at News 9. So that was going on today. And that storm is still alive and well. Okay, let's go back to Storm Shield and take a look at Fort Supply. And you folks up in northwestern Oklahoma, I want to point out real quick here, see how these storms are kind of starting to separate? That's a little scary because what I said when the whole thing started, you're going to have multiple storms, and then what's going to happen is they're going to compete, they're going to fight, and at the end of the day, you're going to end up getting 2 or 3 or 4 big bad storms. We've already had one big bad one that produced the tornado, but we're going to end up with several others. And if these things can separate and stay by themselves, they'll produce tornadoes. The atmosphere is very conducive for tornadoes today. Notice where it is. It's in western Oklahoma. All right? Here in Oklahoma City, we're doing fine. These are still back to our southwest, and it will still be several hours before they get here. But Caddo County, you're under the gun now for this storm, and the circulation in this, it has weakened some. It has weakened some. All right, let's go back to Fort Supply and talk about it. We'll get Marty Logan back on the line here. And, okay, Marty, big hail core.
Marty's here.
Okay, big hail core course, south sides of Fort Supply, Marty. Your lowering is still there. What do you think? Give us an update.
Hey, this thing's starting to look a little bit more waspy than we did before. I have rising motion. Just stay with me just here just a little bit. This is it's an embedded fault cloud in that rain core. And I heard a while ago a trooper comment about some hail that was south and west of Fort Supply, which we put it right here in this area. Right there is the storm that we're looking at. This is moving towards Fort Supply right now. There is a lowering in there, but I cannot tell you if it's rotating. We're just stay with it, David.
Well, Marty, here's the deal. There is some rotation with your storm. It's not extremely strong right now, but your storm is producing a lot of hail and big hail. I'm saying at least golf balls, if not tennis ball size hail. Okay? Tennis ball size hail.
Yeah, that's what the scanner was saying a while ago, is that we did have some large hail.
Okay.
Hey, we are starting just to look.
Okay.
We're going to keep an eye on it.
Okay. All right. Stay with it, Marty. Don't let it out of your sight. I know you won't. And let's go back to Storm Shield, show you the hail core. This is going to be tennis ball size hail. Southern sides of Fort Supply. There's Fort Supply. Big hail now from Fort Supply to the bend just east of town. This is going to be quarters, golf balls, and tennis ball size hail. From there, it's going to cross 34, and it's going to try to go to Freedom. You folks in Freedom. And these storms are going to try to merge. The big storm's going to eat the small storm. That's how it works. That storm's going to eat that storm, and then we'll see what we get out of this. We might get a big storm in here. It's already big enough that might try to produce a tornado. And you folks in Freedom, down the road, okay? I know what you're thinking, it's so far away. It's not that far away. Freedom, look to your southwest. Marty Logan's right there, and he's watching it. Okay, let's drop back south here and talk about these other severe storms. Tom and Rob are on a storm now, and it's not quite severe, but it's getting stronger. Let's see what we have here. Darren's storm. What does Darren have in his shop? Let me back out of the way here. Yeah, thank you for getting those pictures back up, control room. Still back in rain. Man, look at the size of that storm down here in Washita County. A huge storm. I mean, it is a beast of a storm down here. Okay, let's go to Balcaster. Now, Val's right here. He's looking back to the west where the hook is, okay? That's the hook. That's what that looks like. That's Val's shot. Check that out. Balcaster, the storm, now, it's still a very, very large storm producing tennis ball size hail, but the area of circulation, it's still there, but it's weakened a little bit. It's weakened some, not as what it was, but it's still tight enough. What do you think? Give us an update.
You talking about?
Yeah, Val, go ahead. Give us an update.
Yeah, David, you can see our shot right there. What that is the gust front wraps in right there. That's the center of rotation on our shot where you see that biggest lowering, and that's up to our northwest. It's wrapped up. I think it looks like to me it's trying to get better organized now, or more organized as far as its rotation goes, but it does got somewhat of a gust front that comes south of it, but that gust front wraps up into the circulation right where our shot is there on where you saw that lowest lowering. Amy's panning the camera now back to the west, and you can see what we're talking about there. But we had west winds a little bit earlier, northwest winds the gust front, but just as soon as we got east a little ways, we're getting screaming inflow back again, probably 35 to 40 mile per hour inflow. So it's still being fed pretty good. This is still a wrapped up storm. Back to you, David.
Yeah, and Val, I'll tell you this right now. Your hook is beginning to tighten up a little bit, okay? It's beginning to...
Okay.
Yeah, it is. It's tightening up. And like you said, you've got an east wind. He's driving away from it, looking back into it. The rain and hail are on the right, and the updraft it's right back in here, okay? It's north of Highway 9, and it's right back in there. It's just going to be to the south of Rocky and north of Hobart. And Jim Gardner's right there as well, looking at his shot. And boy, Marty Logan's shot, that thing is really tightening up. We need to keep a close eye on Marty's storm. Let's go to Tom and Rob, get them in on it. Let's come back north here, look at Tom's shot. And Tom, you're on that one storm, again, out into western Oklahoma right now. I'm looking at your GPS. You're pretty close to Mutual. Tom, that storm to your west, it's still strong and it's getting stronger. What do you think? Give me an update.
Yeah, we're just to the northeast of Mutual, and we just got out of a pretty good hailstorm. Right now, the storm looks like it's organizing. It's getting a little bit better looking. Nothing too imminent right now, but we are going to follow it. Back to you, David.
Okay. All right, Tom. Good job. Stay with that. And again, I think we're going to eventually work this out. By the way, we still think Oklahoma City, we're going to see storms today, all right? But it's not going to be for the next several hours. Looks like right now this will try to stay west of the metro, and then after 7, 8 o'clock, roughly between 6 and 8, thunderstorms will try to come into the west and southwest, and they're still going to be capable of large hail, damaging winds, and tornadoes. So the Oklahoma City area, yes, we will have storms. Yes, we will have those storms today, and again tomorrow. But wow, look at the Mangum. Look at the Mangum storm. Hank, let's go to Hank. Is Hank going north? Okay, wow, look at the hook on that. Well, that's really, really impressive. That's really ramped up. Hank, your hook is really starting to ramp up down there. Give us an update on that storm.
Yeah, David, we're actually moving east so we can vision the northwest of Martha. The storm has really just been kind of quiet down here, sitting in the back end, but it's actually started to increase quite a bit. We've got a little bit of a wall cloud with a bit of a lowered area. The Patty is moving to dome temperature right now. So I'm moving east, and you're looking back to the northwest. You can see a bit of a lowering there. It's reaching back down into the rainforest, pulling that rain cool air, giving us that wall cloud, David. We're getting ready to get up with it.
Okay, yeah, Hank, it's a big storm. Rotation is right over Mangum. This storm is severe. I know there's no warning for it officially, but that's okay. We're going to go ahead and issue our own severe thunderstorm warning for that, because that's a big storm. And it's going to have at least not tennis balls, but at least quarters, if not golf ball size hail in it. That's his shot from his roof cam. That's why it's bumping out a little bit. He's headed off to the north. He's getting closer to it. Okay, let's go back to, there it is, and let's go back into southwestern Oklahoma. Switch radars on that. And then, okay, I'll tell you what, stay with that. Do a storm track. Granite, 336, Retrop, 352, Sentinel, 359. Some of these same places are getting hail once and twice and 3 times today. We're talking about large hail, talking about golf ball, tennis ball size hail. Clinton, Sherman Airport, 413, Burns Flat, 414, Burns Flat downtown, 414, and Cordell, 417. All right, that's on this storm back in here. That's that storm. We got a hook right here. Hook's right over Mangum. Right over Mangum. Okay, and boy, big storm coming into Clinton and Weatherford. Can't say it enough. Big storm here. Still some rotation with that. It's going to Cordell. It's going to Weatherford. And this is a supercell, and it could produce another tornado.